Where'd you move here from? Dumbsville?
Yo, I hit the jeweler, got some goals. I sold a little weed, but I could never sell my soul. And when I'm in LA, you find me out in Lil Scope. Come a vocal with my ramen, I'ma need another bowl. Let's go. Let's go.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. Norm of the North absolutely disappointed me. And not for the reasons you might expect. Here, let me explain. So, this film has quite the history to it. You'd be surprised how deep it actually goes. So, originally, Crest Animation was making this movie. AKA the creators of Alpha and Omega. AKA a film so bad, it was only surpassed by its sequels in pure garbageness. However, Crest Animation shut down, leading to Splash Entertainment, the creators of the other money laundering sequels, to rework the movie into what was supposed to be a direct-to-DVD movie. That is, until Lionsgate came in and went, hey, it's January, dump this into theaters. As a result, the film has one of the worst critical receptions I've ever seen. So I sat down and watched it, and I mean, it was dog shit, but a very different kind of dog shit. It wasn't this kind of dog shit. It was, you know, it's hard to explain. So let me try to explain it by guiding you through this thing. This is Rob Schneider as a polar bear. So we open up on a boat, and we see a bunch of seals, and then we see Norm, who is hiding in the snow, preparing to hunt seals.
Don't listen to the haters, Norm. You're a polar bear.
I will talk to myself, because every animated character needs to do that. So he jumps out the snow and chases after the seal. Cut to some caribou playing cards.
Carabooyah!
What? Carabooyah. Okay, you know what? Whenever I win a card game, or I don't know, like any game, I'm gonna scream out human booyah. Anyways, so Norm passes by them, and they're all like,
I'd bet Aunt Lizzie fails again.
That's what the kids call epic fail.
because it wouldn't be a generic kids movie if the main character wasn't a complete goofy failure. Anyways, so the chasing happens, Norm falls off a cliff and dies, and then he sees a girl who says one word in the entire scene.
Hi. Hello. Hey, Grandma.
This is character development.
Jeez, it's like pure ice up here.
That's because it is pure ice.
An accident waiting to happen, you know? I mean, somebody should really do something.
So he chases the seal more, and that's about it. Cut to a bunch of people. They're taking pictures, and yeah. And Norm finally catches the seal. But then...
Oh, come on. Don't say that. You always know exactly what to say to get to me.
You guys hear that? You hear Rob's mic quality go down into Xbox Live territory? That's because they artificially slowed down his voice clip, so it would fit with the shot. They clearly didn't give a shit. So the humans are all like... And Norm's all like...
You wanna know why I'm not gonna eat you? You got a minute?
This leads into a flashback scene. It's a good transition. So Norm's a younger kid, I guess. And this little girl walks up to him, and for no reason whatsoever, Norm can speak English. So he talks to his grandpa, who is the king, about it, and they literally rip off the Lion King.
Our land is vulnerable, and we're responsible.
What this has to do with not eating seals is beyond me. So everyone laughs at Norm because he doesn't eat the seal, and so Norm is sad now. But then his brother comes in and tells jokes that aren't funny and not important. And then meandering happens and Norm dances, and that's about it. Cut to Norm being sad. He meets up with this bird guy, and they're all like,
I'm twerking. Twerking?
And the food is busting on.
so Norm's all like, I hate humans, I'm xenophobic. And then he's like, I wonder where my grandpa is. And that's about it. He then looks over this cliff here and sees, whatever this is supposed to be.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear is one of the most secret black projects.
Holy icicle. Is that a human house?
Wait a minute, that's a house? That's not a house, that's a Juju album. Where's the front door? Where's the house on this house? I've seen bounce castles be better real estate. What the fuck is this? So anyways, I guess humans are living here.
Humans are moving here? To live?
Even though humans already live in the Arctic. So Norm is just needlessly xenophobic.
It happened to my buddy.
So Norm goes home and I guess tells the Polar Bear King or something. But everyone laughs at him because this is a generic kids movie. And Norm even shows them proof, but nobody believes him. Because this film has no value whatsoever. So Norm goes outside, I guess. And the birds are like, Norm, you are the main character or something. And then the love interest comes in and is all like, Norm, you are the main character and I will fall in love with you if you save the world.
I have to do something.
Number one or number two?
Norm then walks in on a commercial shoot, and because human bad, he decides to destroy it.
We have to point that director in a new direction.
So Norm, being the extremely likable protagonist he is, decides to GTA Online the film shoot. We're also introduced to the Lemmings, who are totally not the Minions, and furthermore, totally not lazy comedic relief. Oh, what's that? Artistic integrity? Nah, dog. We need more money so Harvey Weinstein can assault more women.
Can you see what will it look like when you, Mr. Greene, built all those houses there? You're changing the Arctic. Change isn't always good.
Doing your mouth, doing your mouth.
So Norm starts wrecking shit, and that's about it.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Joseph Matthews, and in this little tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to be funny.
So a slapstick scene happens, I don't care anymore. And yeah, that's So more shit happens, who cares? And Norm tries killing this one woman over here. So she records him, and one chase scene later, she goes back in the house. We then meet the generic bad guy, who is a businessman. Wow, I've never seen a movie where the bad guy is an evil businessman.
I'm sure you think you're a regular Scorsese.
So she shows him the footage of Norm trying to kill her, and for no reason, he thinks it's amazing and will sell the Arctic.
This will definitely get me approval from the Polar Council.
I don't know how dangerous wildlife in the Arctic will sell real estate, nor do I know how the Polar Council will be okay with you endangering the wildlife, but I mean, go off, I guess.
Oh God, you name it. It's gonna be Dubai and ice.
Gentlemen, welcome to Dubai.
So anyways, he's all like,
Find an actor who looks just like that bear. Let's use the Arctic to sell the Arctic.
ah, my evil plan, regular marketing. So Norm decides to become the actor for the marketing agency. So he jumps in the house and then leaves to New York, all while shitty licensed music plays. The home is then taken to an evil warehouse. And then these guys walk in and Norm walks out, I guess. And these guys are like,
Another talking bear?
and so they chase Norm for a bit, and yeah, that's about it. And Norm walks outside and sees the same model of a taxi cab over and over again. So he sees this guy who is also dressed as a bear, and then these guys think the guy in the costume is a bear, and they try and beat up the guy in the bear costume, but then they get beat up themselves. It's very funny, I assure you. So after the battle, the guy in the suit's all like, oh, you are very elegant as a bear.
That costume is exquisite.
Saw something I put together.
You even smell like a polar bear.
How would you know what a polar bear smells like? So Norm dances into the audition room because that's funny. And then the lemmings pee into the fish tank, and it's hysterical. It's so funny. So Norm auditions in front of the evil businessman, who, by the way, moves like a Has-Been Hotel character.
Meet Norm of the North.
What, we some kind of...
Wait a minute, how do you know his name? Here's hoping that Norm of the North fan 92 can fill me in on the lore. Anyway, so some noises happen, I'm not paying attention. There's another pee joke because it was so funny the first time.
Sorry, Mr. Greene, I was just keeping it real.
So Norm starts dancing, and then for no reason, these guys start dancing with him. And the businessman's all like,
You're hired.
And Norm goes upstairs, and that's about it. But the businessman's all like,
I haven't smelled anything that foul since... Wait a minute.
And it's revealed that Norm's grandpa was kidnapped by the businessman the whole time. Anyway, so Norm and the girl talk in a restaurant or something.
After having been up in the Arctic myself and seeing how beautiful it is, I wonder if it's even good to have houses up there.
This movie's themes are so heavy-handed it hurts. Anyways, there's a long talking scene, who cares? So far, this movie is loud and boring. This is impressive. Anyways, so the business guy comes into the restaurant with the fucking trank gun. I love how he doesn't try to hire anyone or actively prepare for this mission. He just tries to kill Norm, even though he's a public figure. This would look really bad for him. But whatever, I want to get this video out. It's already fucking overdue. So of course, the businessman epically fails and shoots himself, I guess. Cut back to the office where apparently this escapade actually improved Norm's ratings, even though this would lead to the collapse of the business, since, you know, the guy who owns it caused a public shooting. Anyway, so the businessman tries to get Norm back, but Norm is like, you're acting quite sus. So Norm's about to walk out, but the businessman lets him stay in the model home. So after he leaves, Norm forms a plan with the lemmings to free his grandpa. This, of course, leads to a funny fart joke.
Not that natural.
So Norm hires this guy and a bunch of bullshit happens and that's about it. And Norm sneaks into the building. And there's a talking scene, I don't care. So Greene leaves his office. I just realized I could call these characters by any name and nobody would notice. So Osama sneaks into the office. He then opens the secret passage bookway thingy and the lemmings go in but not Norm because...
I'll be too obvious.
Yeah, that. So they sneak in and the grandpa's all like,
Is Norm with you?
how he knows it's Norm is beyond me. So stuff happens and who cares? And then Norm's all like,
I'll save the Arctic first, and then I'll save Grandpa.
which means more padding's about to happen, so buckle in, kids. So Norm goes on a talk show, and yes, I will make the obvious joke, just you wait.
My God!
That was some really good mic quality. Oh, also there's a little girl subplot in this movie. I've been negating it from this video though because that's how important it is. So Norm goes on the talk show, and here's how that scene goes.
Funny.
Oh, there it is, I made the joke. So Norm dances to a copyrighted song again.
Shut up!
Here's the thing about
Cut to 3 years later. So the little girls are like, Norm, you're saving the world, and that's about it. Now we're at an ice skating rink, I guess?
Norm, can you please come out?
I think I just did.
No way! What? They did not just make that joke! Holy shit! Bass?
Hello? Base department?
So there's another dance number, and yeah.
Base.
And Norm's about to expose the businessman and say the N-word or something. But the businessman plays some fake audio files through Audacity. So now it seems like Norm's supporting him. Whoa! So Norm walks into the office and is very mad. And it turns out the businessman is doing illegal things without the Polar Council's consent. Meaning that this movie's gonna be 20 minutes longer.
Big business.
Big boss!
So Norm walks out and yeah. And now he's all sad. But then the one girl comes out and is all like, oh, Norm, you're sad. And Norm's all like, my home's gonna die or something. And the woman's all like,
Olympia would love it if you came over.
Olympia.
Ooh, nice and legal.
so they go home and that's about it. Cut to her apartment. So a bunch of bullshit happens that I don't really care at this point. And then the little girl's all like,
Hit Mr. Green where it hurts. His wallet.
I wish I could do the same to the people who made this. So Norm decides to talk to the investors. So he jumps on top of a bunch of cars and, of all things, rips off Sonic Adventure 2. And Norm's all like,
Building in the Arctic will destroy my home.
and Norm then shows them footage of, I don't know, Christian Bale walking. And they're all like, oh, we hate him now. And then out of place fart joke. And so they're all like, you're corrupt and not poggers. But the businessman's like, oh, my plan is already going through. So it's time for Norm to take matters into his own hands. Meanwhile, the bad guy's all like,
Commence operation. Kill that bear.
which is a really lame name for an operation. Yeah, guys, fuck Order 66. Forget about Protocol 10. It's all about Operation Kill That Bear. It's also revealed that he's taking Norm's grandpa in one of the houses and dumping him in the river. Even though it would be easier to just euthanize him at your house. Why'd you even capture him anyways? You didn't need to. Oh, I see why. It's so we can have a generic story. Yeah, I see. So Norm finds a bunch of houses being taken to the Arctic. And Norm's all like,
I bet Grandpa is in that last one.
very convenient he guessed that. So chasing happens, whatever. And Norm saves him and he's all like, Grandpa, I missed you, whatever. And so he saves him and yeah, that's about it. And they hop up the truck to save the Arctic. 5 years of running later, they then see the boats. But then a helicopter shows up and tranks them and they pass out. You know what else is passed out? My emotional investment. So Norm's now on a helicopter, and the lemmings are here to save them. And then these guys pop out, and some banter happens, and then Norm and his grandpa get free. And yeah, that's about it. I'm wondering if I can plagiarize Doug Walker's review and get away with it. So they make it out alive. Woo! And now they're on the boat home. And that's about it. Meanwhile, the investors send something to ruin the bad guy's business. And yeah, that's it. It's just a bunch of shit at this point. Back on the boat, there's a thunderstorm or something. And they're trying to dislodge the boat, I think. And so they do. But then, it's Uncharted. This leads to Norm getting dropped in the water and rubble falling on top of him. Which, of course, leads to... Oh, come on. No way! Yeah, they reuse footage as an emotional flashback. I don't know what's funnier, the shitty slow motion, the fact they're reusing footage at all, or the fact they think that Norm of the North is an emotional experience. But anyway, so Norm wakes up and you already knew he was going to. Cut back to New York with the businessman. It turns out he's been exposed! And now everyone hates him because that's how generic kids movies go. And the bad guy's all like,
these condos weren't for any of you peasants anyway.
They were for PC users only.
They were for the 1%.
Oh no. And then he gets locked in the sewers and that's about it. Norm then wakes up and he's back home. And the girl we don't know anything about is in love with him, I guess. And then Norm's all like,
where's Grandpa?
But then everyone else is all like,
We've searched everywhere, Norm.
But fuck that shit though. Because in the very next scene his grandpa comes back. Because why actually create emotional tension when you could just fake it? Norm then becomes king or something.
Norm, I crown you.
So now Norm's in love and already has 3 kids? What? How? They must have had like hypersex or something. Anyways, the camera zooms out and the film can finally end. Except it doesn't. There's another copyrighted song dance number. And then the film ends after this scene. And yeah, that's about it. Welp, I tried. I really tried. So like I said, this is a very different kind of dog shit from Alpha and Omega. They both may be generic kids movies, but one of them is obnoxious. Meanwhile, Norm is actually really boring. So much so that it's actually kinda hard to review this thing. The thing is, if you've seen one animated movie, you've seen Norm of the North. This film really doesn't do anything right, but everything wrong it does is no worse than the rest of its genre. It's not even bad enough to be interestingly bad. It's a meandering, boring mess. The story sucks, the characters suck, everything sucks. Is it worse than Alpha and Omega? I couldn't tell you. Alpha and Omega is the more obnoxious movie, but I also remembered it. Norm is more boring and uninteresting, but I didn't want to kill myself as much. Either way, I'm convinced both of these movies aren't actually meant to be viewed by humans. Whether it's aliens or torture, one thing's for damn sure. Children shouldn't be watching these. Anyways, tune in next time when I learn how to properly end videos. Fuck you.
Fuck you in the lanes you came with. Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch. Nah, throw that shit in fifth. Rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star. I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue hundreds. I'm too money. Ay, and my little bitch, she too lovely. Yeah, hanging up and calling me right back. Ay, baby, why you calling me like that? Yeah, getting high with the seat laid back. Baby, gon' relax, yeah. Hey, they don't know the half, yeah. No matter what happened, I got your back. Baby, that's the facts, yeah. That's the facts, yeah.
Shut up!